And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those duct tapes from times gone by, as we have returned with our semi-finals. We have some updates for you. And of course, the big one is that Cure did take down Classic 2-1 and did advance on to the semi-finals to face off against this very opponent. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Site Delta, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have representing his brand new team, Team Liquid. It is Cure. Here we go. Cure now finally representing his new team. He has been teamless for quite a number of months, but it's really cool to see him repping a team once again, and he has been on fire recently. Cure looking to be one of the best Terrans in the world in the current era of StarCraft, and he's going to be going for a 2-Rax opener. Okay, now we have seen Cure dip back into this. Last season, we saw this almost every game from Cure. Nowadays, he mixes it up. He's very willing to go for these Cyclone-based openers instead, but here we see a 2-Rax. For those wondering, 2-Rax means we make three Reapers. 3 Reapers will be coming out. The first 2 and then another behind this, looking to contain and delay the third base for as long as possible. For as long as we can. And we'll see if we can pull this off. Meanwhile, if Dark tries to slip out an early third, then Cure can double down on additional Reaper production and force a cancel. Likewise, Cure should be transitioning out of this into a 2-1-1. It could be a 3cc 2-1-1, could be a 4-Rax, could be a 3-Rax. There's a lot available here for Cure. As the first Reaper is moving out. Back at home, Dark going for a hatch gas pull, standard opener, nothing too crazy. We're pulling out of gas once we get 100 for link speed, and we do have 2 queens on the way. Third base soon to be taken. We have the natural on the way from Cure, and Cure does miss the drone. He doesn't see it. He doesn't know. Does not see that third base, not yet. As Cure's going to be dancing with these lings. Back and forth so far, no deadlings yet. Dark is able to keep up. He throws down his hatchery on location. His Overlord does confirm the opener as well. And we are going for our add-ons. But Cure, he does get eyes on this third base. He is not actually going to be delaying his add-ons though. He's still going for the reactor. Going for the reactor. Behind this, the Lings, they try to go for a counterattack. They're trying to catch some reinforcements. But last they will not. Now Cure, he does make a 4th Reaper. Bear that in mind. So again, the goal here is to cancel this hatchery. Dark trying to be a little bit greedy by going for it, but especially with the DPS of this 4th Reaper, we should be able to focus this down. Oh, it's going to be close though. Oh, it is going to be close. The Queens are coming in. Queens are going to try to engage at the same time. The Lings go for a big counterattack. There's nothing at home to defend. The reactor is exposed. So far, good KDA charges. But there's a cancel and the kill on the drone. Very nicely done here by Cure. Solid cancel on that base. Behind this Cure, he's stable back at home. The wall did force some lost mining time because of these SCVs, but it is looking solid. And Cure can race back home. Meanwhile, Dark has to lick his wounds back at home, retake that third base and drone. He has a decent amount of Lings, but the Reapers are already behind the wall. They go for the Tech Lab. Oh! And they do get a surround. That's a cancel on Stim. Big pickoff. Massive pickoff here for Dark. Very nicely done. Unfortunately, Cure did not opt to repair it. Could not keep it alive. Behind this is going to be 3cc. Going to be a 3cc 2-1-1. We're going for the add-on swap. I mentioned before that Cure has been very fond of Cyclone-based openers, and this is one of them, where he goes for the add-on swap, delays Marine production, and goes for Cyclones instead. Now, the reason for this isn't for mass Cyclone. Don't get this twisted. You know, this isn't to go into mech or anything like that. This is just for map control. This is just to shut down Overlords. To hunt down Overlords, apply pressure to Queens. Again, the Cyclone is quite a useful unit utility-wise and does add some complexity to your army as well. There it is, Cyclones have arrived, and now we can chase this back. The lock-ons are real. Overlord will fall. And again, only 2 Cyclones. Behind this, ooh, interesting. Okay, we have a very different variation. So it is still a 3cc211 in a way, but with some slight differences. There's no add-on swap for the medevac, for the starport, to get into double medevac production. So medevac production is going to be delayed, but we make up for that with an armory and Hellions. It's going to be a Hellbat push. Hellbats with Marines and Cyclones as well, and a handful of medevacs. Not too many medevacs, but medevacs nonetheless. Meanwhile, Dark, I mean, it's Dark we're talking about, so he is opening up Roach. He's not going Ling Bane. Dark, he's very fond of Roaches, and these Roaches are going to be key here to defend. Very fortunate that Dark happen to be taking in this direction. Dark, he doesn't go Roach every game, but most of the time, he does. As a Cure, he's getting his 3rd up and running. Hellbats are morphed in. And Cure actually isn't pushing. Interesting choice here. Okay. So Cure, he had the option. He had the option to move out if he wanted to. But alas, he is just going to be moving out with this 1 drop. Clearing up a lot of creep. Almost every single active tumor. Oh my god. Very nicely done here by Cure. You know, behind this, Dark is going for an Infestation Pit. Pretty fast Infestation Pit, actually. He can go into fast Infestors as a result. Rely on those Neurals. Meanwhile, Cure, he is stable back at home. He has the Hellbats to defend, the Cyclones as well. Moving out with a 2nd double drop. So he's got his first here in the center, the first single drop. Once again, going for tumors. We have the double drop that can actually rotate towards the 4th base. Can threaten this mineral line. Dark has to be careful. Has to be wary. Doesn't have too much vision here towards the south. Curie's got options. He can either go straight for the main base or you can go for the 4th. And there we go. He's boosting into the main. Boosting right on in. There is one singular queen in position. The rest of the Ling, Roach, the entire army coming back to defend. Cure, he will lose 3 Marines for 1 queen. A pretty good trade overall. And again, it creates an opening. Throw out more creep. We deny the 5th base. Nice moves from Cure. Back at home, he's building up his forces. We have tanks, Cyclones, 4th CC thrown out. So this is not a 3-base all-in. Gases have been taken. Second factories on the way. Cure is getting into a longer macro game. Here come the Infestors. Oh! Not quite connecting. We were wondering what the Infestation was going to be for. We did make 1 safety Infestor. Only 1. Now, there is a recent change to the Infestor, and when it's built, it does have enough energy for a fungal, so it is a little bit more useful, especially reactively as well. So 1 fungal, and we go straight into the hive. I'm curious where this takes us. This should lead into Vipers early on. We could go into Ultras, or try to go into Lurker play. And there it is. Vipers are in production. We don't really have the upgrades set up for Lurkers, so I don't expect that. We don't even have a Hydroden, so if we were to tech and commit here into Hive Tech, it may even be something like Ultras. Oh! That's a kill, not a cancel. Kill on the 5th base. Very nicely done. We were double expanding another 5th here towards the south. Can Cure hold on to it, though? Sorry, can Dark hold on to it? Can Cure? He can let it go. Meanwhile, Cure taking his 4th, still just fortifying himself back at home, only being active with drops. As he's preparing to reinforce with another drop here. And again, Cure has been looking quite stable back at home. Hasn't really been touched. Dark hasn't been able to go for any kind of run by or counter attack. Now that we've taken the 4th base, Curie's going to be spreading himself a little bit more thin. Ling's coming. Oh god! Ooh, doesn't quite connect. There's a world out there with this mine. This mine would have popped off. It does go down. As we do reinforce towards the south, now going to be a quadruple drop instead. There is still that Infestor. A nice free split here from Cure. Trying to avoid that fungal. Oh! Ooh. Does take one fungal to the face. The mines are going to go up on the roaches, not the lings. And Dark will force the pick up. Pick up back into the main question mark because we have Vipers. They're ready to power bomb. Parasite bombs are available. And they will connect as well. A couple of Medivacs do go down. Oh, bit of friendly fire from those mines as they clean up some of those Banelings, but Dark has maxed out. We were talking about it a couple of minutes ago, but there it is. There's the Ultra Cavern. Again, we weren't set up for lurkers. We didn't have a Spire for a greater Spire. Ultras makes the most sense, given the tech and given the positioning here of Dark. And this entire time, because of how active Cure has been, Dark hasn't been able to counterattack, so Cure is maxed himself. He's up in workers, he's on 81 SCVs, he's working on 3-3, 5th CC being taken as well. Cure, I would say, is in a commanding position. The one downside here is that Cure doesn't have any ghosts yet. He does have a Ghost Academy, just finished. He's getting a CC, a 6th base here as we speak. But will he have the Ghost ready in time for those Ultras? For now, armies are just going to be trading. Ling Bane for Marines. Freeze Widow Mine should not reset as the detection has arrived. And yeah, we are just taking this moment to split the map in half. Take a moment, take a breath. Oh! Big fungal! Nice pick up here once again from Dark. And we just need to keep doing that. Just keep going for these small little trades. Coming out on top. Dark is a player with a bank. Cure does not have one. Here we go. The Banelings are rolling on in. They're going for that mineral line. Big mine shot at the SCVs. No, there's nowhere to go. Big connections. The entire mineral line goes down. There was nowhere else to run. Cure had cornered himself in the middle of this attack. By the way, we borrow some lings, and at the same time, we try to poke towards the south. There are tanks in position. And does Cure realize what's going on? Is he going to scan? Doesn't look like he will. Behind this Nidus Worm on the way, there is that Overlord? What? Ultra Speed. You know, I never remember what Ultra Speed is called. I know Kindness Plating, obviously. Ultra Speed. Anabolic Synthesis. Okay. I'm never going to remember that. And here we go. Dark pushing in from the left-hand side. At the same time, he cannot borrow those lings. The army's out of position, and the Banelings, they go straight for the mineral line. They could have gone for the Nexus, for the planetary even. Banelings trading with the army, taking down the tanks. Planetary will fall to the vials, knocking Cure down to 3 mining bases, soon to be 4. But a good trade nonetheless, as Dark is attempting to set up a surround. Cure, though, he doesn't take the bait. He doesn't go for it. Oh, the ghost! Oh no! The ghost overextend. What is that? 6 ghosts for free? Oh my god, that is a massive pick off. And now Dark, he can pull the trigger. He can keep on pushing. How many ghosts was that? 5. 5 ghosts. That was an expensive loss there for Cure. You know, Dark once again, he gets into the mineral line and forces back the main army. Big snipes. Big snipes do pop up. We got a Nidus into the main base, but there are reinforcements ready and waiting. Niduses will be cleaned up. And Dark will back off once again. This time remaxing here on Ultras. The Ultras, man. As they haven't arrived yet, it's a decent microbial shroud. Covering some of those live shots. Rolling on forward. Not the best connections though. Banelings onto Marauders. Cure does take a better fight. He's pushing on forward. He's breaking through. Little does he know that he's about to be pushing into ultras. But he has plenty of ghosts. A handful of marauders. Biles take down the Liberator. Dark trying to bring everything together here, and up. In the end, will not be able to save that base. Hatchery will fall as he pushes in. At the same time, he's going for his own ultra counterattack. Dark's main army is suffering a little bit, but he does take down the planetary. Does take down the mineral line as well. 19 SCVs go down. Cure, he's knocked down to 4 bases. And Dark, he's going to keep on pushing. He has to respect the libs, though, the freedom zones. The freedom has arrived. And Dark will pull back. Will pull back in the end, and we need to take a moment here to take stock, as Cure tries to go in with a double drop, but again, no Ghost Orb with this army. This army isn't really too threatening. Dark, he's on, what, 6 bases at this point. He's taking a 7th and an 8th base at the same time. He's trying to double expand. Dark has a decent economy, is on 80 workers at this point. He just droned. Meanwhile, Cure is struggling. He actually hasn't made any SCVs in a while. He's on 3 base saturation. He has more SCV, sorry, he has more CCs, that is true. But very low worker counts, relying a little more on mules instead. But he's saturating that northern base. He's getting up and running. Planetary has been spotted. And what does Dark go for next? So far, he has consolidated his army. He has a couple of ultras here towards the south. No higher form of tech, no Greater Spire, no Lurker Den, just Lingbane, Ravager Ultra, and Vipers. Spellcasters. Again, the game just going to be settling from here. Both players going to be stabilizing. And the ghosts aren't quite here. They're out of position. Ghosts are towards the north. The massive ghost army is here instead, which means Dark, he can roll on in. He gets into the mineral line once again. Takes down the planetary. Takes down 17 SCVs. And that is all that Dark needs to do. Just keep dipping in and taking down base after base. And the Cure is being pulled apart. This is the power of Site Delta. This works both ways, where this map is actually quite long, so defending both fringe bases is difficult for either defending player. Whoever has map control has quite an advantage. A bit of a misclick there from Dark, but he does threaten a dive. Alright, that's where I'm going to pull apart the army. This time the Ghosts, they rotate towards the south, but they're on their own. Once again, we deny mining time at that third. And what can Cure do from this point? I think Cure, he's doing the only thing he can do, and that is turtle. Basically, the goal for Cure is to take a good fight and maybe catch Dark overextending. If he pushes in and he pushes into a siege line with snipes and liberators, and if he loses too much too quickly, then Cure can immediately counterattack and kill not just 1 base, kill 2, kill 3 bases, maybe even just straight up win the game off of 1 good fight. That is his goal. It's so far Dark. Oh my god, just finding just more of these exposed bases. Liberators go down, 8 more SCVs. You're just not able to keep up here. This bank is struggling as a result. Dark doesn't have the biggest, gas bank, but he has a lot of minerals. Available. That's why he's just remaxing here on Pure Ling. He knows that he needs to conserve that gas. He needs to build it up. over time. We've even got Neural on the way. Oh my god. Have Neural now in production. I'm surprised they don't have a great. Did I miss it? Is there a greater spire? No, there's no regular spire, no greater spire either. That is a little bit concerning. Ooh, Dark. He did just spend his bank. Remember, he hasn't taken his gases here at these fresh bases. So Dark does not have a gas bank. He's actually running out of gas. He should be taking more. As I believe he only has these 2 gases mining, if I'm not mistaken. Or these 2 as well. Here we go, we're collapsing on this position. The mines! They connect with the Banelings, but once again we can take down the base. And not just that, we're going straight for the army. We're trying to roll onto the main army. We have so many mines though. Big connections. Dark is going to have to back off, but he gets 25 SCVs. Now, Curie is actually ahead in army supply. Dark, he just traded Banelings for workers. And now Dark, sorry, now it's Curie's turn. Oh, the Fungals! Big Fungals on the Ghosts! The Ghosts are going to be going down. There are so many Marauders though, and my god, we can just sim on forward. We focus down the Banelings, we can focus down the Ultras as well. And Dark is in a bit of trouble. He has to try to bring everything back together. And he knows that this hatchery is most likely going to be going down. Dark, he needs time. Cure, not slowing down. Gonna push his way through the center of the map here. The Banelings gonna be rolling on in. The mine shots are a little bit too late. GG's gonna get called. Cure gets cleaned up, and Dark will take game number 1. And that was game 1. GG, well played. That is game 1 in the books. Jesus. Initially very back and forth. At a certain point though, Dark got map control. He got full map control, and it was just Cure stuck at home. Stuck at home, struggling to defend, failing to keep up with the movement and the rotations of Dark, as Dark was just knocking down base after base after base, getting mineral line after mineral line. And it just became a bit too much towards the end there. Dark, he was lacking in gas income, and I was concerned that he was going to be stuck making only lings, especially if he didn't take extra gases. But, well played. GG, well played. Dark did take it in the end, and Cure did run out of steam. Did run out. And with that, we're getting ready for game numero 2. Game number 2. Ooh, let's go. I'm catching up in the chat. I'm catching up. Yo, that was glory the first few weeks when it went down. Oh, look after yourself, Slowly Round. Look after yourself. Did you see they had COVID? Hope you're taking care. Plenty of fluids. Una cerveza, por favor. O en un café con leche. Don't drink them together. That's coffee with milk and beer. For those wondering, your Spanish lesson for the day. Here we go. This channel is much better for life laugh balance. I wouldn't know. I mentioned this when we were co-streaming the B stream, because I was listening to Loco and Wardy for the first time in years, because typically when we're casting events, we're casting the same event, right? Like we're casting WTL, or we're casting ESL Open Cups or KSL or some other online event, and yeah, I don't really get to tune into them. Was able to though the other day. But here we go. Sporting in the top right hand corner of Alkyone, we have the South Korean Zerg player leading the series 1-0. Ooh, after a very intense game 1 on site Delta, it is Dark. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing his new team, Team Liquid. It is Kyor. Here we go. Once again, going to be a 2-Rax opener out of Kyor. Meanwhile, back at home, Dark going for a hatch gas pool. So a standard opener from Dark. Meanwhile, a more aggressive opener from Kyor. Actually, the same thing that happened last game. And winding the clock back a little bit about what happened in game 1, that is, again, the dynamic that played out there is quite standard for once the Terran player loses map control, they just turtle up, they defend, they absorb all these attacks, and they counterattack. And that's all well and good. But Side Delta is probably the worst map for that. I mentioned before that Side Delta is very wide open. It's very wide open. You can be kind of pulled apart left and right, as we saw in that last game, and it can be quite difficult to turtle on Side Delta as a result. On a map like Alkyone, much easier. This 3-base setup is very solid because of the high ground, the choke points. Likewise, this 4th base here is very well defended because of the terrain. It quite easily leads into this goal base or here towards the right hand side. This base on the right hand side is more exposed, but the goal base a little bit more fortified, especially with the high ground provided and with how you can set up here towards the center of the map. I do think that Kyor, if we do end up in a similar scenario where he has to give up map control, he will be in a better position. As Reapers are moving out, and I believe, yes, that was one drone kill as Dark did attempt to expand and take a 3rd base. A little bit greedy. Was shut down by our Korean Terran. Upon killing that drone, Kyor, he shouldn't really have to invest too much more. He has 3 Reapers. He's actually getting a 4th Reaper. Interesting. 4th Reaper's on the way. Oh, does not get the drone. It's going to be forced back for the time being. Dark, he did delay his link production. Oh, no, sorry. He did actually make his links. He was just waiting in the main base. Additional links on the way. Behind this, ooh, we're going for a 3rd CC before factory. Very greedy. I love it. So this time, Kyor going for a much more economic opener after the initial 2-Rax, straight to the 3rd CC, and then the factory afterwards. So much more economic, less aggressive. Well, as Link Speed kicks in and we are just looking to dive on top of these Reapers. The Reapers are trapped. There's no way out. No way out, and the Reapers, they get completely shut down. They did delay the 3rd. They did contain, but they didn't really get too much damage done. They didn't kill too many workers or trade too well with the Lings, and ideally you need to keep these Reapers alive for the follow-up push, for the eventual Marine push of Kyor. Alas, instead Kyor is going to be stuck at home for a little bit longer. There it is once again, the add-on swap into Cyclones. We mentioned this before, but Kyor specifically is very fond of this. He's very fond of the early game Cyclones. He does feel like it does provide a lot of value. A lot of Terran players will skip this and go for continued Marine production for a harder and a stronger 2-on-1 timing with your Medivacs. But this opener of Kyor, the starport's very delayed, so there's no timing to hit. He's okay just making these Cyclones initially at least, and we'll see if this time he does end up working towards even a Hellbat push again. The German main caster really doesn't like the Ultra skin. I likewise, I'm not too fond of the classic Ultra skin. It is very thin. It feels like the Ultra's been starved, as we're going all in, by the way. It feels like the Ultra hasn't been eating, Papi. I like them thick, Papi. I like them thick. So here we go. Dark is going to be cutting workers at 39. He threw down a Roach Warren, and I assumed it would just be a safety Roach Warren, but no, we're just making nothing but Lings, nothing but Roaches and Ravagers. Dark is going all in across the map, and Kyor, he was going for an economic opener. Remember, he delayed his factory production in favor of this. Ravagers have arrived. Tech Lab's going to be going down, denying combat shields. Stim is done, at least. Bunkers are on the way, but the production very exposed. The reactor goes down. One medevac will pop, but only one. Oh my god, only one medevac comes out. Yeah, the Red Traps are pushing on forward, denying even production from this Rax. Reactor goes down. Behind this Dark, he's just flooding lanes. He's getting ready to just pull the trigger, and he's going for it. Oh. Big files here on that bunker. And Cure, he's trying to hold on, Bob. He's trying, but another bunker goes down. The repairs are not good enough. Additional lings are on the way. Pure Ravager taking down the Rex. Trying to get on top of that factory. The tank comes out. The tank, it has arrived. And it will force Dark back until we make some reinforcements. He wants the tank, Poppy. Can he get it? Oh, it's going to be close. Nah, he will. He will take down the tank. Big connections. A great trade here from Dark. Even if he gets cleaned up, he killed 26 SCVs. Killed a bunch of production, killed the tank. GG gets called. It's just too much. It snowballs out of control, and Dark will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Dark, as he does take the series. Ooh, and advances on to the grand finals. Where does he have an opponent ready and waiting? Let's find out. When it comes to the game itself, again, game 1 was a little more back and forth, and it led into a longer game on site Delta. When it comes to what we saw in Alcyone, again, Cure went for a very economic opener. He wanted to get into a longer game. He did not scout the all-in until it was too late, until it was in his face, and there's a reason for that. Remember something that happened earlier? Remember the Reapers going down? The Reapers getting caught out on the map to the Speedlings. Well, with the Reapers dying, again, we have less activity on the map, less to really go for a scout, to dip into the third base, the main base even, to have any kind of map presence. And yeah, the reality is that he just didn't see it coming, didn't have anything, whether it's scouting the bases or even having control of the zone Naga to be able to scout any kind of move out. So very late reactions out of Cure, and Dark takes the game, takes the series.